All right. How's everybody doing? My name's Gage. My wife Abby, and I have been traveling to and from some Charger games for quite a few years now. We've been to 14 games, 14 different stadiums. We're trying to hit them all. It's kind of just a stupid little bucket list thing that we've kind of started. Um, for a while now, I've wanted to kind of like get on here and let everybody know what I thought of each stadium, kind of like maybe make like a ranking system in the future. Uh, this is the only stadium that I can't find any pictures, videos, anything of the sort for. So I guess you're just gonna have to stare at my beautiful face.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Sorry about that, but I promise it'll get better. Our first game we went to was Soldier Field. We watched the Chargers play the Bears in 2019. It was Halloween weekend. I believe the Chargers won 17-16 on a last second missed field goal by the Bears. Haha. Imagine that, Bears fans. Philip Rivers, what I felt like was Philip Rivers' last true season with the Chargers, and it ended up being that. So I'm glad we rushed up to Chicago. We live in Central Illinois, or we did at the time, and just drove up there just to see it. And ever since that, it was kind of just like we were both kind of hooked. We wanted to go to as many as we could, and so far we've managed to do 14 of them. The Bears, though, when we went to them in 2019, the stadium was pretty underwhelming. It's got this old atmosphere that's cool, but they tried to do a remodel and like spaceship look to the stadium in 2003 or 4 whenever they remodeled it, and it's still got the old stadium with it, and it's weird looking. The architecture is kind of not the most appeasing, but I wish they would have just kind of like remodeled and owned the old stadium, because the stadium would be awesome if it just had that old like cathedral look, or the Colosseum with the columns and stuff on the front. If they would have owned that, I think this one would rank pretty high. But knowing what I know now, where we've been, what we like, what we don't like, which I won't try and like ruin any of that, try and make you guys watch. But yeah, so it was kind of rough for Soldier Field. They need a new stadium. They needed one in 2019. It's 2026, and they're still in disputes with whoever it is, whether it's the city, the governor, the state. Are they going to Indiana? Are they staying in Chicago? Whatnot. That stadium's pretty bad. We've went to, there's not one that I think ranks worse than them. And there's probably 2 or 3 that we've been to that are kind of in that same boat. But yeah, they need a new stadium. It's almost dilapidated. It looks weird. It's funky. They just need to make a new architectural draft and really hone in on what they want. Other than the stadium, though, the fan atmosphere was cool. There wasn't no like, you felt threatened. It was just kind of like, oh, Charger fans, you guys can't sit here, which is fine. For the most part, fan atmosphere is really, really cool. Bears are a rowdy bunch, which is, I like. I will say that we have not been to an Eagles game yet, but I actually kind of look forward to it because I want to deal with the heckling.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
And sometimes they just don't do it. when you go to some stadiums because they don't know if like a fight's going to break out or anything. But I kind of want to be heckled a little bit. Oh, the food. The food at Soldier Field and Wrigley Field is atrocious. I don't get it at all. Chicago has some of the best food in the nation, and they put, especially for what they're known for, Italian beef, the Chicago dog, deep dish pizza. They put absolutely no effort into their stadium food at all. I don't know if it's like that just because this is the one stadium where we did not sit in the lower bowl of the stadium. We've always sat in like the 100 sections on the visitor sideline so we can kind of like get some interaction with maybe some of the Charger players or something. This is the only stadium we didn't do that at. We actually sat towards the tops. So maybe it's a little bit different sitting down low, but where we were up high, the food was disgusting. It was $68. We got 2 hot dogs, 2 fries, and 2 drinks. And it just tasted like frozen bag Aldi food. Just there was no effort. You're known for your Italian beef. You're known for a Chicago dog, and we can't get any of that and no specialty stuff. I know they've brought out some specialties now with like the Roma Dunze dog, stuff like that. But man, it was just like if I go in there and I get an Italian beef, I want it to be one of the best Italian beefs I'm going to get, not just some crud you scraped off your grill. Like, no, thank you. Chicago needs to do better with their stadium food, and I hope when they get a new stadium, that'll be a priority. Maneuverability inside the stadium was pretty nice. It was easy to get around, know where you were going. Everything was mapped out well, so you won't like, if you get near the stadium, you're going to find your seats. We've had a couple of problems at some stadiums. We'll get to them later, where the stadium's not mapped out. The workers are no help because they don't know where it's at. And Chicago was good there. Your aisles, your seats, everything like that, I'd say they're pretty good, especially for what we spent. We only spent like 120, $130 for 2 tickets. So in total, that was pretty good, which we've sat in some much nicer stadiums where the seats are, yeah, they're padded or something, but the aisles are really thin or your seats aren't very wide. And for a new stadium, it's kind of like, what are we thinking? The concessions are really spread out. If there's a long line, it still don't matter. You can get in and out. So yeah, maneuverability is really good. We actually, instead of parking at the stadium, we parked at Navy Pier since I kind of know my way around Chicago a little bit. And we walked to the stadium because Navy Pier parking's like $40 and stadium parking's $90 if you're lucky. It's probably more 120, 150, especially if you're going to tailgate. But yeah, it was like a 40-minute walk to the stadium, so not too terrible. Now that I've been to a couple other games, like not Bears games, but just up in Chicago, I know there is free shuttles. Like if you go to Connie's Pizza and order a pizza before the game, they will shuttle you to and from the game, which is really nice. And you get free parking there. So you go in, spend 20, $30 on a pizza. You get free parking, dropped off at the game and brought back to Connie's Pizza. It's very nice. And it's something I would look into, especially if you're driving. Another one that you could, if you don't want to dine, there are some parking. I can't remember where it's at exactly, but it's like first come, first serve, and they shuttle almost all day before the game. And then I think up to an hour and a half after the game. And it's free parking. They take you to and from. So that's really nice. Something to look out for. And I would do it if you were driving there from anywhere close by. If you fly in, you're probably going to want to get an Uber. Last but not least, the cost. Since this is the only stadium that we did not uh, sit in the lower bowl, the cost was pretty cheap. Again, this was 2019, so before the world changed. So I'll try and like not hold that against it, but the cost then was pretty good. I didn't think it was bad. We spent like maybe $500 on the total, like a whole trip driving up there, parking, driving back, going to the game, getting food at the game, and like I think we got food on the way back too. And it was like $505 is what we spent in total. It's kind of got an asterisk next to it. I'm just kind of rough guessing because it was so long ago. I don't have weren't tracking it at that time. Since then, our very next stadium was done just a few years ago, so I kind of have that information, and it's like extremely accurate. So that's something to keep in mind too. It was pretty cheap then, but we didn't have to drive. We didn't stay the night at a hotel or anything like that. We just drove there, drove back, watched the game, and ate once outside of the stadium. So it was cheaper for us. If I was ranking it, of the 14 we've been to, this one's probably towards the bottom. I would probably give this stadium like a 4.5 to 5 out of 10. It was pretty bad. The food wrecked this stadium. The stadium like slash venue is just weird looking, but the fan atmosphere brought it up. The maneuverability brought it up, and the cost, which maybe it's not that good since we're not really traveling, but I don't know that. So I kind of got to give them that. We'll keep going, and hopefully you guys like them.